Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Coach Drink, the Missouri Tigers land another commitment coming out of the transfer portal. Former Michigan linebacker Jeremiah Beasley, four-star prospect in that 2024 class. Yes, many of you guys know I am a big Michigan fan, quite familiar with Jeremiah Beasley. And to the Missouri Tiger fans, I think y'all got a good one in Jeremiah Beasley, one of my favorite prospects that Michigan had in that 2024 class, a linebacker that we use this term a lot, modern day college football linebacker, a guy that is athletic enough to operate in space, go sideline to sideline. I think Jeremiah Beasley not only can be a contributor in 2024, but this is a guy that I think has a really bright future with this Missouri defense. Want to dive in to what Jeremiah Beasley brings to this Missouri program. Really excited to get into it. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys, the Missouri Tiger fans. Whether we're talking high school recruiting, transfer portal, it's been a blast the last couple of months. Y'all have continued to show a ton of support. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this one. Now, Jeremiah Beasley trading one block M for another block M. And I'm a big fan of Jeremiah Beasley. I'm a big fan of him going over to Missouri. Y'all know I am really enjoying what Coach Drink is doing with this Missouri program. We've talked about it before. I don't know if there's a coach and a program that are doing a better job blending recruiting the high school ranks and getting it done in the transfer portal. We've kind of talked about that is kind of the recipe in terms of building a college football team in this day and age. And I think Coach Drink doing a really good job in the high school class, doing a really good job in the portal. I think he's playing the game exactly how you want it to be played. And Jeremiah Beasley, for all intents and purposes, really just getting added to that 2024 class, spent a spring semester with this Michigan program, but is essentially coming into Missouri in the summer as a true freshman with this Missouri program. They had a really strong 2024 class, had a really strong transfer portal class. Want to get into Jeremiah Beasley just a little bit and then talk about where Missouri's going in the transfer portal. We're going to treat Jeremiah Beasley essentially like he's a high school recruit committing to Missouri. We're going to get into the huddle a little bit, talk about what we like, and we'll keep this one short because I want to have a couple of other things. One, Missouri only took one other linebacker in that 2024 class, and Nick Rodriguez coming from St. Thomas Aquinas. So, Jeremiah Beasley filling kind of a hole in that Missouri 2024 class. You fire up the film, Jeremiah Beasley is a do-it-all linebacker. You see him coming off the edge here really, really fast. He has a track background, and you see that show up at that linebacker spot. Closes the distance exceptionally well. A two-way player, also gets a lot of work in running back. And just junior year at the running back spot, ran for over 1,200 yards, over 108 tackles at linebacker. You're talking about just the athletic profile that you really want to bet on. And again, Jeremiah Beasley gets it done in so many different ways. You can play him on the edge. You can play him at that off-ball linebacker spot. He can operate, close the distance exceptionally well. We talk about this a lot. What are you looking for in modern college football linebackers? You got to get guys. There's a nasty stiff arm right there. You got to get guys that have the speed to operate in space. You look at what opposing teams are trying to do in the SEC and the Big Ten and the Pac, well, not the Pac-12 anymore, the Big 12. Teams want to spread you out. Teams want to test your athleticism and a lot of times attack linebackers. And I think this play kind of represents why you're such a big fan of Jeremiah Beasley, where, he's working at that off-ball linebacker spot in coverage, sees that tight end cross his face, close the distance, go and knock down the pass. That's kind of what you want to see. That's what you expect from linebackers in the modern day of college football. Now, a little bit more of an interesting conversation for the Missouri Tiger fans is where else is Coach Drink looking to go in the transfer portal? And you make no mistake about it. It's along the line of scrimmage. Want to talk about two guys that Missouri is going after, headlined by former TCU defensive lineman Dominic Williams. Another example of, I think, Coach Drink doing a phenomenal job identifying where Missouri maybe fell a little bit short in that 2023 year. And you look at this Missouri team heading into 2024, it has a lot of boxes checked in terms of a team that can win an SEC title, elite court, really good quarterback play. Luther Burden at the wide receiver spot, brought in a couple of really good transfers at the running back spot. One of the better offensive lines in the SEC in my mind. That might get a hot take in the comment section. Where does Missouri need to take that step? I think in the trenches along that defensive line. I think Coach Drink has recognized that and is going after some guys that are going to fortify the line of scrimmage. First up, Dominic Williams, a guy that there's a reason that most Power 5 teams are going after Dominic Williams. It's not because he stuffs the stat sheet with tackles for loss and sacks. It's because of his presence on the inside, right? 6'2", 320, an absolute fire hydrant, plays with really low pads, wins at the point of attack. This is a guy that is not necessarily going to make a ton of plays himself and stuff the stat sheet. He's not going to be a guy that has 10 sacks, 15 tackles for a loss, but what he's going to do is eat up double teams, win at the point of attack, allow your linebackers, the other defensive line, the defensive linemen to play at a much higher level. There's a reason why everyone's going after Dominic Williams. He's the first guy that Missouri's going after. I think the second one, Simeon Barrow Jr., who I think is a really intriguing one coming from Michigan State, another guy that I'm familiar with. A little bit more of a difference maker, playmaker than Dominic Williams. Dominic Williams, I would probably take over Simeon Barrow Jr. if you were asking me to make my team, but they're just different flavors, right? Simeon Barrow Jr. is a guy, 17 quarterback hurries, a 14% pass rush win rate as a pass rusher. Probably not the physical presence that Dominic Williams is on the inside of that defensive line, but a guy that can give you a lot of pass rush juice on the inside. A lot of teams going after him as well. Missouri doing a great job, and we'll see if they can land one or two of these guys. And if they do, and even if they don't, like, this is going to be a team that going to be really fun in 2024. Wanted to hop on, update you guys on a familiar name for myself and Jeremiah Beasley. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.